All right, let's talk about what might be the most ridiculous financial headline I've seen in a while. DoorDash is now letting its users finance their food. You heard that right. Buy now, pay later burritos. Klarna has officially teamed up with DoorDash, so now you can eat your tacos today and figure out how to pay for them sometime next month. And if that sounds like a joke, unfortunately it's not. It's a symptom of something much bigger. And it's honestly kind of outright terrifying. Let's get into why this is happening and what it says about where we are financially and why this isn't just another quirky fintech feature. It's a warning sign. So here's the pitch. Instead of paying for your meal up front, DoorDash now gives you three options. Pay in full like a normal person, split into 4 interest-free installments, or pay later, which is just code for take on short-term debt for a cheeseburger. This is no longer about financing big ticket items. We're not talking about couches or flights or even laptops. We're talking about waffle fries, chicken nuggets, a $14 poke bowl. And it's not just DoorDash. Buy now, pay later is worming its way through everything. You can finance your clothes, your concert tickets, your skincare routine, and now you're a side of guac. It's financialization of the absurd. And yet, it's working. In 2024 alone, Americans spent over $75 billion using buy now, pay later. That's not niche, that's mainstream. Nearly 20% of the country has used it. 1 in 5 people are financing everyday purchases. This isn't about convenience, it's not innovation, it's desperation. It's survival mode dressed up as a sleek fintech. Let's rewind. Over the past few years, inflation has outpaced wage growth. Paychecks aren't stretching as far as they used to. Eggs are $6, rent's up, gas is flirting with $4 again in some places, and those raises we all hope for, most of them have not materialized. During the pandemic, people leaned on savings, stimulus checks, paused student loans, and they got child tax credits. According to the San Francisco Fed, that pandemic era cushion peaked at $2.1 trillion. But by early 2024, gone completely. We're now at $72 billion in the red. So where do you go when savings are gone and your paycheck doesn't cover the basics? You swipe, you tap, you finance. And the debt numbers tell the story. According to the New York Fed, household debt just hit a record $18.04 trillion. Now that's up $93 billion in 1 quarter. Credit card debt, $1.17 trillion. Another all-time high. And we're not managing it well. Over 10% of credit card users are making only the minimum payments. More than 11% of credit card balances are 90 days or more past due. That's the highest level we've seen since 2011. Higher than during the pandemic. Higher than the great financial crisis. And now, later on, buy now, pay later, which doesn't always show up on your credit report. It doesn't feel like real debt, and it doesn't carry the same emotional weight, but it adds up quickly. And for many, silently. Buy now, pay later is marketed as a lifestyle enabler. Don't wait, live your life now. But in practice, it's debt with good branding. It also taps into one of the most powerful psychological biases we have. Our future self will just deal with it. We'll deal with it later. Psychologists call it the present bias. We prioritize now over later. So a $20 burger today feels fine, especially if we're only gonna have to pay $5 today. By the time later comes around, we're juggling 10 different $5 payments from last month's present bias. We tricked ourselves into thinking that we're managing our money when really we're just deferring the pain and multiplying it. And here's the wild part. This isn't just an individual issue, it's systemic. What happens when millions of people are over-leveraged on everything from takeout to transportation? What happens when buy now, pay later debts get bundled and sold to investors just like mortgage-backed securities used to be? You know, we joke about collateralized enchilada obligations and taco-backed securities, but history has shown us that even absurd-sounding financial instruments can crash markets if enough people buy in. Let's also talk about who's being targeted here. Buy now, pay later usage is highest among millennials and Gen Z. These are generations already burdened with student loans, stagnant wages, and housing costs that are totally out of reach. They're tech savvy, sure, but they're also being nudged towards debt with every swipe and every tap. Apps are designed to make it frictionless. A quick click, a little dopamine hit, and boom, you're in. Debt. But it doesn't feel like debt. That's the trap. You're not applying for a loan, you're not calling a bank, you're not even entering your credit card info. You're just approving a payment plan for pad thai, and in this frictionless moment, financial literacy gets bypassed by UX UI designs. So what is the end game? Do we start financing grocery store runs? Do we have Klarna car washes, Affirm-assisted movie nights? Are we heading towards a future where every daily decision is split into just 4 easy payments? Because here's the thing, buy now, pay later isn't free money. Klarna and Affirm don't exist out of the kindness in their heart. They make money off late fees, merchant fees, and consumer behavior. And that behavior is getting riskier. People aren't just stretching their budgets anymore. They're stretching their sanity. They're keeping track of 10 different buy now, pay later plans, 3 credit cards, and a paycheck that just completely disappears on contact. Like, that's not budgeting. That's financial juggling with chainsaws. And at scale, this kind of instability leads to volatility. In the markets, in the household, in politics, consumer sentiment is already collapsing. People are losing confidence in the economy, in leadership, in the future. And maybe that's what makes the financing a burrito thing so haunting. It's not just funny, it's a reminder that the line between stability and chaos is thinner than we think. So yeah, laugh at the memes, I love them too. Joke about closing on a burrito with a fixed rate loan, but also ask yourself, how do we get here? Because if we're financing our fast food, we're not just running low on money, we're running low on margin for error, for resilience, for dignity. Buy now, pay later has its place. If used wisely, it's a tool. But used by a society running on fumes, it becomes something else entirely. It becomes a lifeline disguised as a lifestyle, a red flag dressed up as convenience, a debt trap hiding in plain sight. And if we keep normalizing this stuff, if we keep turning everyday costs into long-term liabilities, we won't need a financial crisis to tell us we're in one. We'll already be living it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below what you think about all this. Would you finance a burrito? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for the YouTube overlords so I don't have to use Klarna to finance my burritos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.